Oh, hi guys, it's Johnny. Wait, what is going on with my hair? Hang on. Okay, my hair is an unsolvable issue at the moment. Whiskey in the Jar, as covered by VoicePlay. I looked into the history of the song a little bit, and then there's like a bunch of different versions. Apparently, it's like just one of those songs where like it has various origins from different places. So, very interesting. I did listen to a couple of other versions of this song, so I'm interested to see what VoicePlay does with it. I am very excited. So without further ado, let's get into it.
As I was going over the Cork and Kerry mountains, I saw Captain Farrell and his money he was counting. I first produced my pistol, I then produced my rapier. I said, stand and deliver. Whoa, the devil he made and take you.
So it's a very interesting song harmonically right off the bat. Our key seems to be F major. But when Jeff starts with this insanely low solo going down to A1. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. No, it's not really there. When he does that low solo with those fat A1s with kind of like a gnarly tone, the A kind of feels like it's acting like the minor root. So I thought it would be A minor, but it's harmonically weird. So we are in F major, but the A is the third of F major, and it kind of has like a minor feel in the solo that Jeff has in the beginning there. Very interesting. And then we kind of get like what I'd assume is like a motivical theme for this song, sung by Jeff, and kind of like like a very closed-mouthed just hum, while the other vocals are kind of painting in the background with chords. We have four voices going underneath of Jeff in ahs and oohs. So very interesting, giving Jeff the solo in the beginning here.
I took all of his money, and it was a pretty penny. I took all of his money, yeah, and brought it home to Molly. She said she swore that she loved me.
Alright, real quick, I'm gonna look at the arranger. Okay, so this is Jeff arrangement. I usually try to figure that out beforehand, but I forgot, sorry. So we have a very basic chord progression for this first line so far with Omar doing the solo. We have a root, and then the minor 6, D minor, which is the actual minor here, and then down to the 4, and then the dominant. So very basic chord progression here. I'm interested to see if they do anything different with it later. Now, Omar Cardona, I know he's performing with them later this month, at the end of November, I think, with Chicago. I was going to go see the show, but it's expensive, and it's also far from me, but anyway. Omar is an excellent collaborator for VoicePlay. I've been really obsessed with Superstition lately, which they did for Halloween years ago, and I'm pretty sure it was Omar's first song that he did with the group. But anyway, Omar's voice, excellent. I'm glad they're featuring him again with the song. So he starts with a solo, and then Caesar takes it. Let's play it back.
And it was a pretty penny. I took all of his money, yeah, and brought it home to
That was interesting. Took all off from the four voices that are going on behind Omar's solo to give him a little bit of a little bit more attention when he goes up into that kind of riff tone.
all of his money, yeah, and brought it home to Molly. She said she swore that she loved me. No, never would she leave me.
Hey, Caesar's hair looks like mine.
But the devil take that woman, yeah, for you know she tricked me.
There it is. Sorry, pausing a lot. Deal with it. I love Caesar's tone when it goes up to those higher notes.
Never would she leave me. But the devil take that woman, yeah, for you know she tricked me easy.
Guessing, so that going up to that F4 there, I'm guessing it would have been a little bit more open in the actual performance of it than he displayed while doing the lip sync for the filming. So it was more of like a smile just with the mouth open. I feel going up there for Caesar you need more of a like open mouth position. So I'm not sure, but that's up to a nice crying F4. Not quite sure how to describe it otherwise with the kind of like twangy tone he puts on it. It's amazing.
But the devil take that woman, yeah, for you know she tricked me easy. Ring dama do dama da. Whack for my daddy, oh. Whack for my daddy, oh. There's whiskey in the jar, oh.
Nice F1 sub right there, by the way. But I love how Omar takes the motivical line that we established with Jeff doing the hums at the beginning. Now we're doing it with whoa, up an octave because he's high tenor. He went up to A4. And it sounds so effortless for him. It's so impressive. He has a very nice clean tenor voice. So interesting. You can hear that was F3, the note that he landed on. You can tell that's kind of where his voice is starting to lose some of its power, some of the intensity that he has when he's up the octave on the tenor notes. So like nothing uncomfortable about F3 for me, because I do have more of a baritone bass range. But for somebody with a high tenor voice, that is where they're starting to get to the end of their range. So it's interesting to hear him lose a little bit of power, not because of any skill issue, but just because that's kind of how the tenor voice works. Once we start getting to that middle range, it starts to lose some of the intensity. That was interesting. So Ellie took the solo, and Caesar and Omar were starting to kind of echo him with harmonies. And at one point, Omar broke off and started harmonizing with Ellie, while Caesar maintained the echo. It's a mileage chamber, taking my money with me. Yeah, taking my money with me is when Omar breaks off and starts to harmonize with Ellie. I think somebody might be double tracked because I still hear two voices doing the echo. My money with me. But I never knew the change. Also, that's interesting, the fact that underneath Ellie is also A4. Somebody's doing the somebody's doing that motif. Sounds like in 2 octaves, so maybe like Jeff and Lane. But I never knew the change. For about 6 or maybe 7. So we get a nice crisp A4 belt, kind of trilling up to a B flat. Ellie was doing that in the background harmony too. Touching that B flat 4. I jumped up, fired my pistol, yeah, and I shot him with both barrels. Jeff does some crazy chest voice slide in the background there, and then we have Lane doing the kick drum there, and then we cut everything else out when we get up to that belt to make more room in the mix for it. So that's all we have our attention on, really. Shot him with both barrels. bass line. Do 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 do. Whatever Jeff does there. Oh, D5 above tenor high C. Daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. So that section is interesting. Whiskey. When Ellie holds that A4, we hear a lot of twang in his voice. Not the same twang that Caesar had before while belting that note. This is more of that metal edge that we know Ellie to have. And what I was talking about before is the whoa, that melody going on. Same as before with Caesar and Omar doing the harmonizing on that melody. And then Ellie kind of takes like a descant solo, where a soloist will sing over the rest of the choir traditionally by singing whiskey in different harmonies of the chords that are happening in the background. So very interesting.
Some men like the fountain. Some men like to hear. Whoa, to hear the cannonball roar.
There it is. There's the F1 in chest voice.
Men like to hear. Whoa, to hear the cannonball roar.
It's so fat and juicy. The world was waiting for that. A Jeff Costellucci F1 chest. There it is. And this section as a whole, we get a little bit of a breakdown where we resume to Jeff doing the solo like he did in the beginning. Kind of an interesting callback. So we strip away the vocal percussion and just have Jeff featured. And again, that could be contributing to what we talked about before with removing everything for Omar's high solo there, except kind of just for Jeff's low solo. So we take away most of the content that's happening that is stimulating our ears to have our focus mostly in Jeff. But that's crazy, an F1 in chest voice.
Some men like to hear. Whoa, to hear the cannonball roar.
I like sleeping, especially in my mouth.
For some reason it makes me want to put on fancy glasses.
I like sleeping, especially in my Molly's chamber. But here I am in prison. Here I am with a ball and chain. Yeah, my show rain,
Ooh. Okay, I'll get to you in a second, Ellie. I wanted to hear Caesar's solo again because while we're doing that, we have Lane's vocal percussion back in, and it's kind of giving a halftime view, so you feel only every other beat as opposed to the 4 that we had before. You feel 2.
Some men like to hear. Whoa, to hear the cannonball roar.
I like sleeping, especially in my Molly's chamber. But here I am in prison. Here I am with a ball and chain. Yeah, my show rain,
And what's interesting there is when we do the shring double do whatever, Caesar's voice is still pronounced as like the solo part in the mix, so we hear Caesar still being the dominant voice, while Ellie and Omar do join in as well, but they are kind of like backed off in the mix, so we get most of Caesar since he is still kind of maintaining the solo a little bit. And then I also think it's interesting we get like a layered octave echo that starts halfway through to make it kind of like a round.
Here I am with a ball and chain, yeah. My show rain, dama do dama da. Rain, dama do dama da. Wait for my daddy.
So he touches an E5 above tenor high C there, and I also think that's cool that they have Caesar doing the same thing an octave down, which, oh, that's like not high notes, but they sound so much lower when paired with Ellie up in the tenor screaming octave. Like, audio! That's like towards the upper end of my vocal range, but it sounds so low because it's layered with Ellie's high notes.
Yeah, my show rain, dama do dama da. Rain, dama do dama da. Wait for my daddy. Wait for my daddy. Oh, there's whiskey in the jar. Whiskey. Whiskey in the jar.
I think in that section it was interesting to hear Ellie and Omar kind of doing two different lead parts at the same time that overlap really nicely with each other. So Ellie is kind of doing the same descant as before with the whiskies, and then Omar is doing the whoa, 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 kind of variations of that an octave lower than Ellie.
Oh, there's whiskey in the jar.
And then there is some double tracking there because Caesar's part is like whoa, doing stuff like that just with basic woes underneath, and there is a second voice doing that, so somebody must be double tracked on that part. I love that line in the background. I think that's something like what Omar does in the background there. I just want to listen to that little chunk again. Very pretty. And some interesting breaking up of the lyrics there going on. Jeff is just drawing these F2s while the string W-I's are happening on the C. So all we have is an open fifth. Those are the only two notes happening, and this might be layered in octaves, but it does sound dominant on that C3. So it's very nice and pretty. I kind of would have expected them to add a little bit more harmony on that part. So interesting ending. Yeah, no, I would have expected a little bit more harmony than just those two notes. But maybe that's kind of the appeal behind it. Like, weirdly simple for voice play, and that's kind of how we're ending. And we kind of just taper off a little bit. Jeff dips into an F1 sub for the end there, and then it kind of just sounds like an open fifth harmony on the end. No, we do have all three notes in there. But we're just ending on a simple F major chord. Very interesting. I don't know. Let's play it out, see if there's anything else of note.
Hey y'all, thanks for watching.
Jeff.
If you'd like to see some behind the scenes footage, hear karaoke versions of the songs, participate in web chats, and a whole lot more, head on
Yes, go do subscribe to Patreon. I'm on their Patreon, and it's awesome. I like watching the behind the scenes videos for how they film these and talk to their collaborators, and there's always some interesting goofy shenanigans going on. VoicePlay is an incredible group, and I think they've been on a creative peak this year. That's just my humble opinion. Starting with Nothing Else Matters in January, they have really caught their stride this year, I feel like. I can't say this is my all-time favorite, but it's very interesting and one I will be revisiting. So, I mean, yeah, kudos to VoicePlay. Props to Jeff for the arrangement. Very nice. And Omar, beautiful tenor solos. Anyway, yeah, so that's all I have for this video. I would love if you went and subscribed to VoicePlay. If you enjoy my reactions, I would appreciate some likes and subs here as well. On a steady growth, trying to keep up with videos while working full time. It's fun. Anyway, peace.